Yo, what's good, basketball heads? It's your boy Crush. So let's talk about the trades, all the trades that took place. The Lakers got Luka. They just pulled off another deal late yesterday. So they got Mark Williams and Luka. So they got Mark Williams from the Hornets. So they finally took care of their center situation. They have a center now that could hold down the paint, get rebounds, block shots. They desperately needed a center. Even when AD was there, they needed another big man. So they finally took care of that situation. It's real interesting to see what happened with the Lakers, man. But they got a pretty good team over there. Championship ready? Not yet. I don't think they're ready to win a championship just yet, but they have a pretty good team. And LeBron can't make any more excuses, man. You have Luka, you got a center, you have all those other players. Also, they traded Dalton Connect. In order to acquire Mark Williams, they had to ship Dalton Connect. And we're going to see how that pans out because Dalton, he could shoot, man. We know that dude could play. Dalton, he could play, but you got to do what you got to do. And they desperately needed a center, especially since AD, he got traded to Dallas. He's now with Kyrie. They needed a center when he was there. And since he got traded, they had to fill that gap immediately. So they got it done. They signed Mark Williams. So that's taken care of. Dallas got Anthony Davis and Max Christie from the Lakers and a future first-round draft pick. So Dallas also got something, AD and Luka, they trade places. Talking about trading places, they trade places. And I feel like the final piece to that puzzle, if Dallas could acquire Kevin Durant, if they could somehow get Kevin Durant, that's a championship team. The Warriors, they got Jimmy Butler. They acquired Jimmy Butler from Miami. Andrew Wiggins, he's now in Miami. So a few players got moved around, Jimmy Butler, he's definitely going to help the Warriors. Now they have more offensive firepower. And they have a guy who could also run the offense. So Stephen Curry, he could play off the ball, which would preserve his energy. So Jimmy Butler could control the offense at times. He could run the offense. So it's a pretty good trade. They needed another star. They desperately needed another playmaker. It's now coming out. The Clippers acquire Bogdanovic and 3 second-round picks from the Hawks. So the Clippers got a guy who could stretch the floor. He could create his own shots and create for others. He's a good scorer. Granted, he struggled this season, but if he ends up getting back to his regular form, he could play. The Hawks, they got Terrence Mann and Bones Highland. So Terrence Mann, he's no longer in LA. So everybody's out here making moves. You got to do what you got to do. Everybody's trying to bolster their roster. I think it's a good move. Terrence Mann, pretty good player, young, but I don't think they lost a lot in this trade. I think it's a good move. And Bogdan, he's a proven scorer. He's a playmaker. This season, he's shooting 30% from three-point range. He haven't been shooting too good, but that might change. But for his career, he's a 38% shooter from behind the arc. And like I said, he have the ability to create his own shots and stretch the floor. So it's a nice addition for the Clippers, man. And as far as Atlanta is concerned, this move allowed them to shed Bogdan contract while acquiring young assets. It's a win-win for both franchises. Atlanta got assets they could use for the future. Clippers got a player they could use right now. They're trying to win. So it's a great look, man. And like I said, Charlotte, they got rid of Mark Williams, but they received Dalton Connect. We have seen him through this season. He's a proven scorer. He could play. He could shoot the ball. A really good shooter. We know what happens when Dalton connects when he gets hot. He's one of those players. Once he's hot, he's on fire. He's perfect for the Hornets, another young player who could actually stretch the floor. It's a good look, man. It's definitely a good look. It's a good look for both teams. The Lakers got what they needed. Charlotte got what they needed. It worked out. The Milwaukee Bucks, they made some move. They got Kyle Kuzma. They traded Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma. That's a risky move, but Kyle Kuzma, he's younger. Middleton is injury prone. He's been battling injuries for a few seasons now. He had multiple surgeries, so they felt like they wanted to get a younger player who could stretch the floor, shoot the three, get rebounds. I like the move. I think it's a pretty good move. And in a last-minute trade, they acquired Kevin Porter Jr. So now they added another piece to the roster. So they got a young swingman. He's going to help coming off the bench. They're trying to bolster their roster, bolster the supporting cast around Giannis and Dame. And it's a great look. You got Kuzma, Kevin Porter Jr. And this season, Kevin Porter Jr. in 45 games, he averaged 9.3 points, 3.6 rebounds, and 3.2 assists per game on 42% shooting. So far, I like what the Bucks have done. This is not mind-blowing like the Lakers getting Luka, but, you got to flesh out your roster, so I like the move. The Suns are trading Yusuf Nurkic and a 2026 first-round picks to the Hornets for Cody Martin, Vasily Mimic, and a 2026 second-round pick. Yusuf Nurkic, man, he was a disappointment. The Suns needed a center, and him coming in from Portland, I've watched him through the years. I know his game, and I always felt like this guy should be better than he is. So the Suns thought bringing him in would have helped. At least that's what we all thought and hoped. But when he got there, man, this guy have underperformed, didn't live up to expectations. The coaching staff, the organization, they were unhappy with his play, man, his gameplay. Even Kevin Durant was frustrated. He's gone. He's been traded, which was a much-needed trade because it wasn't working out. So the Suns, they sent Nurkic to the Hornets for more defensive help and cap relief. You reacquire a few cap space, and you got better defensively. So it's a good move. It's coming out that the Los Angeles Lakers, they could re-sign Dennis Schroeder. If he gets bought out, they could possibly re-sign Dennis Schroeder. If Chris Middleton get bought out from the Wizards, which is more than likely the case, the Lakers could probably sign Chris Middleton. Who knows? Here we have the Toronto Raptors finalizing trade with the Pelicans for Brandon Ingram and Bruce Brown. So Brandon Ingram, he's headed to Toronto. I don't know if he'll like it up there, but the Pelicans, they weren't going anywhere. You have all this young talent. Ingram, Zion Williamson, CJ McCollum. You had all these players on the roster. And this team is just not performing well, haven't been playing well. Zion Williamson, he's always hurt. Brandon Ingram, he's hurt half the time. This is the inevitable. At some point, you had to make a move, man. You can't keep running back the same team and you're seeing the same results. So Ingram, he's in Toronto. I like the move, man. You gotta shake it up. Toronto definitely got better. They had a decent team over there. Now you add Brandon Ingram. Offensively, you're much better. Your offense went up a few points. He could give you 25. So you just bolster your offense. It's a good look for them. And they have a young core over there. There's a lot of upside to the whole situation. If Brandon Ingram could remain healthy because he's always hurt, that's the main issue, is availability. But it's a great trade, man. I like the move. Nothing was going on in New Orleans. We have seen this movie for years and years, man. So you might as well shake it up. So this trade deadline, a lot of moves were made. The craziest one was Luka joining the Lakers with LeBron. Nobody saw that coming. That was the biggest trade of 2025. That will be the biggest trade in the next few years, man. I don't think any trade will top this one, but you got to do what you got to do. The Mavs, they gave up on Luka. He was blindsided. We all were blindsided. Nobody saw this one. Everybody's been making moves. Everybody's trying to tweak, bolster their roster, find the pieces they need. The Lakers got Luka. They got Mark Williams, a center. They desperately needed a center, a big man. They got that. Brandon Ingram, he's in Toronto. Kuzma, he's a Buck. Dalton Connect, he's a Hornets now. Dennis Schroeder, he's in Utah, but he might get bought out. Chris Middleton, he's in Washington. They're sorry, but more than likely he might get bought out as well. A lot of moves are being made in the NBA currently. There's a lot going on, and I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it all. But as always, I'll holla. As always, we just talking basketball. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share. Holla at your boy.
It's all about the game and how you play it. It's all about the game. I'ma say it. It's all about the game.